A shout out to our podcast sponsor, sportsponsorship.co.uk. If you or your business are interested in making a real difference to the Scottish game, supporting hundreds of kids into regular football, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk and they'll find the right fit for your brand. Hello, welcome to Tinpot, a Scottish football podcast with nonsensical views. My name's Tom, joined for episode 43 by Matthew Strugnell, the beard-twitching man. How are you?
Itchy, my man.
Itchy. And Andrew Gwild, or Guild, if you're that way inclined. How are you?
Very well, not very itchy.
One itchy, one non-itchy, and one, what am I? Scratchy. It can be scratchy. Yeah, we've got a lower league episode as promised last week, so thanks to the three of you that are tuning in for this one. Most of the conversation is going to be centred around the Championship, since Matt is a Raith Rovers fan, and he knows lots about the Championship. The League 1, League 2 chat could be limited to they're doing good, they're doing bad, but we'll try and muddle our way through, and we'll have a quiz at the end. I think that pretty much sums up what to expect over the next wee while, but before we dive into that, our usual protein update from Henchman Struggy. What's been happening?
Just in general, or protein vibes in the area?
Oh, just what's going on? What's happening?
What's happening, mate? Well, not much, son. I was just eating a caramel log earlier before the pod, and I was thinking, we're lucky in Scotland that we have Tunnocks and AG Bar, like two institutions, you know? Like,
yeah,
that's
true.
amazing, eh? We're so lucky. It makes me feel proud to be a Scotsman. I was just eating this caramel log, I was thinking, this caramel log is class. Toasted coconut, it's lovely touch. And I was thinking, the snowball, class. The Tunnocks tea cake, class. The caramel wafer, class. Iron brew, class. And now, they've got an energy drink, fucking class.
Do they?
It's Boost. That's by Bar, I
Oh,
believe.
right.
So I was
Yeah,
kind of
got
for
you.
them, man. Really nice. Wild cherry flavour I had. Really good. Like, another fruity one as well. Tasted like a strawberry Skittle. It was great.
Replacing
Mixed
the
with
monsters?
Mixed it with a Monster and some protein, and I called it a fucking snake bite, son. That's my snake bite. I was tanning that in a sports bottle. Magda says, "What's that?" I said, "Oh, just Lucozade." As in my eyes are pulsing at my skull, popping out the cartoon. Other than that, on the hunt for the meal deal with the most protein. That's my thing. Or the sandwich. And I was in Aldi, and guess what I found in Aldi? No, it's not a meal deal per se, but a club sandwich. Like a lunchtime club sandwich. So you had your bread, your cheese, your tomato, your lettuce, your chicken, your bacon, your mayo, and it was 30 grams of protein for the pack. I mean, that's decent, to be fair. That's decent.
Ah, nice.
So what I did was I got the protein chicken skewers, satay, just like shoved them in the sandwich as well, an extra 18 grams of protein there. So I made like a triple decker supreme sandwich. Other than that, got Vimto protein powder on the club card the other day as well, so back to mixing that with Monster, my special cocktail, so I can drink that at 9 o'clock in the morning in the office and no one knows the difference. So who's winning at life? This guy.
I thought you went off the protein thing. You told me off last week saying it was a bit of an old joke, or a couple of weeks ago you said you were off the wagon.
I
think it was because he didn't want to feel guilty for tanning all the pints of lard that he was having last week.
I found that club
mate,
sandwich, and then I got the Vimto on the club card, so I'm firmly back on it. But I did purchase two butter chicken pies from Lidl yesterday under the brand Pie Sports, it's called. Have you seen that brand?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Pie Sports.
Let's get googled.
I can't give you a review because I didn't eat them.
I think they do. I think it's St Johnson.
Pie Sports. They do like kebab
could be
pies,
wrong.
salt and chili pies as well. I think I've seen a few sort of different pies.
They do Partick Thistle as well.
I've not eaten any of them pies yet because I ate a lot of pizza and then I felt really sick. So I've got them in the fridge and they got to do it on the 29th, so I'm going to eat them next weekend. Or this weekend coming. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, looking forward to that review for sure.
But Pie
Awkward
Sports is
St.
great, and the
John's.
logo's like the same sort of vibe as Sky Sports. It's just class. Very
Yeah,
funny,
I haven't
very
seen
funny
that.
stuff.
genius.
Wow,
Yeah.
they've got 4 steak, blaggis, and
Yeah.
peppercorn sauce pies,
Yeah.
which I guess is black pudding and haggis. Salt and chili chicken
Yeah.
curry pies. They do chicken chasney pies. Oh wow! Vegan
These-
scotch as well. If you're
These
into
are the
that.
new these are the new pie
Mm.
guys in town. Step aside Bells, step aside some other one. What's another one? Name another pie manufacturer.
Killy pies.
No, they do sell Killy pies in Asda. To be fair, that's true they do, and in Aldi. To be fair,
Might have
Yeah.
can you name another pie supplier that's big?
In a supermarket.
Yeah, in a supermarket. Yeah,
Pucker.
Pucka, nice.
Yeah.
What's the
There
one
we
that
go.
does steak bakes
Do
and
ball
that, like
caps.
steak slices? Is that Pucka? Imagine
Pie
walking it.
sports.
Imagine wearing that.
No,
like,
you're thinking of Ginsters, I think.
actually. Imagine wearing that hat like about town. It's like the folk that buy like the.
What do you mean?
I'd wear it.
Or it's like folk that buy like Lidl like jumpers or like fleeces and wear them about. Like,
Gonna
A
do some
little
research
trainer.
on
Pie
Pie
Sports hat.
Sports. Hold on. About us. I mean, we're not sponsored by these guys. I feel like we're giving them free plugs here, but this is great
Yeah.
news.
Looks pretty cool. Actually, speaking of Scottish produce, I came across a Fife crisp brand called Bruh.
Bruh.
Yeah, BRUH, and they look really good.
what
Look
flavours
really
they
good.
got?
Apparently, you don't get like this sort of shitty half pack of crisps in your crisps packet. It's like
Uh-huh.
pretty full, and it's getting some good reviews. So
Nice.
just whilst you're on Scottish produce, I just spotted them the last couple of days. So gonna try and test
See.
them out. They're in a couple of green stores, Matthew, in Fife. So you might
Get
get
the
a
bloody
wee
greens near my bet. Come on.
cheeky
fill an
one
empty
next to you.
space.
Yeah. There you
It's
go.
interesting. Bra crisps or brasnacks.com as they are. They only do 3 different flavours.
That's all
Classic
you
cheese
need,
and
man.
onion, lightly salted and salt and vinegar. And they've gone similar to Walker's with their colour.
What's the
blue for cheese and
USP?
onion and green for salt and vinegar.
What's their USP, Tam? What does it say on the packet? Baked, not fried? or
Why bra snacks? I can answer that question for you quite simply. Because snacking should be exciting, we're all about delivering top crisps with personality. Bold, modern, and made for people who know what they want. Whether you're grabbing a box for yourself or sharing with mates, Bra brings the flavour every time, based in the UK and ready to fuel your snack cravings. Let's go! Please note the crisps are made in a salsa-approved facility. If you have any questions, please email daniel@brasnacks.com.
Well, Daniel, I'll
There
take
you
a
go.
free box of the cheese and onion, mate, if you're listening. And pie sports, I'll take the salt and chili pies, please.
Yes, free plugs for everybody this week.
That's
We'll
it.
probably shout out to our actual sponsor, which is Nooch Bar and Kitchen. Stirling's only fully plant-based bar and kitchen. Get yourself down there Thursday through Sunday. Thursday nights they have a quiz. The rest of the time is just fantastic scran. Get yourself down.
And they brought back the mushroom
Absolutely.
burger. Am I right, Tam?
How do you know that?
Jurassic Park. I saw it on their Instagram.
Oh, well, there you go. That's good social media for you. I found that out on Thursday, yeah. Apparently the owners, people had stopped requesting it. When it got taken off the menu, people were harassing him for it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? And just to piss people off, they stopped asking, so he brought it back.
It's great.
So in
Really
future,
good.
don't ask, do get. That's the tale from that. Andrew, what's been happening in your world? I see you're glancing off to the side. Are you watching ball by any chance?
No, not at all. Not at all. Speaking of mushrooms, I was watching Clarkson's Farm last night, and he was harvesting mushrooms. That's quite interesting. But he fucked it up on the second time round, and watching him pretty much spewing into a gas mask was highly entertaining. Because it had gone all mouldy. So sorry, I just had that in my head whilst we're talking about mushrooms. But yeah, apart from that, not much really going on at my side. Just countdown to surgery, so buzzing for that. The kids not really letting me sleep a lot these days, so seems to be getting up at 12:30 and staying awake for about 3 hours. So that's pretty sweet. But yeah, apart from that, that's really it. I'm just looking forward to having some delicious treats, this Pie Sports Chat and the bra snacks and Nooch Bar and Kitchen. You can get it all in my mouth when I get rid of Mark and Ali and their chums. So yeah, that's really me. Not much happening. What about you, Tam?
Is it about a week until they get extracted? Thereabouts. A week and a bit?
It's a week on Thursday. Week on Thursday.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Best of luck. You and Struggy can have a celebratory episode next week without me.
Here, Andrew,
Not much happening.
Can you eat wraps? Sorry, just a quick one. Can you eat plain wraps?
Yeah, it depends what. Yeah, I can eat plain wraps. Yeah.
What to do is just get your wrap and cut it in triangles, put it in the oven for 10 minutes. That you make yourself some like little nachos, mate. Dip it in some water, and it's like salsa.
I've made like little pizzas with not much on it with wraps, but wraps have been getting used a fair bit, but yeah, so bland, like so bland. So looking forward to just getting something with decent flavour in me, because it's been a while. It's been I don't know, what's that, like 4 months almost. So yeah. Mental.
Christ.
Campbell, where are you going next week, son? Where are you deserting us this time?
Down to Liverpool, my friend.
Oh yeah, that's
the
right.
Hill
Watch
Dickinson.
Scotland play. How exciting!
Yeah. You both. I know I've let Andrew down with an invite, but you both refused my invitation of a trip to Hampden on Saturday to watch Japan. Be a shame that you're not going to be there. I think we'll probably have 25,000 inside Hampden for that rip roarer. Will you be watching on television perchance?
Nah.
Yeah, I'll give it another shot, maybe. I'll maybe.
Is it on in the evening, Thomas?
5 p.m. 1700 kickoff.
That's a bad time, innit?
That's bad timing, yeah. I'll be bathing myself or the children.
Myself or the children.
Yeah.
That's your bath time, is it?
Well, Magda says, who's up for bath night tonight? And me, out of the bath.
Ah, nice.
See who gets in there first. So, I'll save it for maybe a Friday. I'll have a bath this week.
You and a little bottle of matey and maybe a toy boat.
I can imagine that, yeah.
I've got a wee water gun that I squirt at the kids. It's class. They like it when it's like really cold water and I squirt them. And they're laughing away. And I aim for their eyes on purpose. But they don't
Class,
know that.
mate.
Lovely. Good old 12 minutes, that.
So you're driving down, are you driving down to Liverpool? You getting the train?
I'm driving, mate. Yeah, in my little Vauxhall Viva, if it'll get me there.
You're driving to England?
Nice.
All the way down to
England,
Liverpool.
Yeah. Got to do that thing where you cross the border, hold your breath, Don't know why, but still do it. It's an SHITHOLE.
Have you got any other plans for the way down? You visiting like any other places or that down south?
What?
Like the Angel of the North.
It's a little bit out of the way.
What else?
TV services.
Manchester Cathedral.
It's fucking great.
Wrexham. You go to Wrexham. I actually went to Wrexham last year. Yeah, it's like
fucking
beside
miles
Liverpool.
away
Mate.
from.
It's not. It's beside Liverpool.
It's like, I mean, it's between Liverpool and it's like Wales.
Yeah, he's like 10 minutes. It's like 10 minutes.
Wales is right next to Liverpool, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 10 minutes away, mate. You can just go to Wales for a wee trip.
It's past, it's south of
Campbell,
Liverpool.
get it on the Google Maps,
Yeah, it's
and
the
I
other
bet
way.
you can get to Liverpool in half an hour from Wales to Wrexham to Liverpool, half an hour.
but he's coming back up the road. Like, you want to go
Oh, he's
somewhere
staying for a
between
couple of days,
here
man.
and there.
It's 34 miles past, so yeah, I don't think I'll be going to Wrexham. Sorry.
What?
Might stop in via Bolton, see Paddy McGuinness and Peter Kay. They don't live there anymore.
Huddersfield's got a good
for that.
swimming pool with a nice couple of flumes in that, if you're interested. In that swimming
Thanks,
pool in
mate.
Huddersfield. Yeah. And Leeds has
not
got
really
a big
going on a
IKEA.
sightseeing trip, but
No.
I'll be sure to write down the flumes of Huddersfield and the IKEA of Leeds if I get distracted.
Are you going to get a food in the Everton Stadium? Look, that's interesting.
Yeah, I might try it, see what it's like. Apparently they've got that self-service thing where you don't have to, there's not a cashier person that you pay. You just walk in through these little gates. I don't know if I saw it being tested before they opened the stadium officially. I don't know if it's actually in situ now that it's up and running, but yeah, it either scans your face or your phone or something like that. You've got to prepay, or it knows who you are. You walk in through these little gates, you pick up what you want, a pint, sandwich, whatever. You walk out the gates at the other side, and it charges your card based on what you picked off the shelf.
Though
That's
for me,
fucking great.
I want a grumpy 15-year-old with their first job pouring you a warm Coke from a bottle and charging you extortionate prices for it. You know, I don't want a...
That means queues, though. That means queues.
Exactly.
Man,
No queues.
There's
Just
pints to grab, and you can
scan,
just walk
boom.
in.
Yeah.
That's not the spirit of the concourse, is it?
Sink one on the way round, and then you got a free pint.
I think if you walk out with an empty cup, or
Just drop
actually,
it on the
yeah,
ground.
they
Bet they
must,
do
Sausage
pizza and
fries.
chips.
they must have thought of that. They must have thought of that. But yeah, now looking forward to it. It's been a while. The last away day with Scotland I did was the Euros, I think, 2024. Last one before that was October 23, so it's been a while. So even though it's only a few hours down the road, it should be good. And then I'm going to try and get to a few away days for the Nations League later on in the year. So if either of you lads want to go to Slovenia or Macedonia or Switzerland,
Nice.
a couple of Saturday trips and one Monday or Tuesday trip, I think. So you just
What are
let
the
me know.
dates of these games, Tam? Just out of interest.
I can't remember the exact dates, but September, October, November.
Sure I could pencil
Very
one of them
doable.
in, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you will. You'll say that for the purpose of on the podcast to make it seem like you're cool, but you won't come.
I would like to go to Slovenia if we're playing
Okay.
them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll have to check the calendar though, but I'll let you know.
There we go. I'll ask you near the time. Oh no, I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm doing a pub quiz, mate. I can't go.
It's not a pub quiz. It's just a quiz. It's not in a pub. A bowling club. Okay.
Sorry, I'm doing a bowling club quiz, mate. I can't come. Double booked myself. Even though I was talking about it for months.
As if you're getting off scot free. Fucking going to McDermott, you prick.
But I
Yeah,
know I was going to
unbelievable.
McDermott, son.
Terrible.
Maybe talk about football for a bit.
Yeah, it's just me that really cares about lower league football, isn't it? It's the only one that actually turns up, so no big deal.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Right, League Two, the Scottish League Two, sponsored by William Hill. Pretty much going as planned at the top of the league, based on what the bookies thought. East Kilbride currently on 56 points after 30 games at the top. Spartans only 1 point behind though, which is probably the biggest shock of the league campaign so far. Dougie Samuels, I think he's finished 5th before and 3rd in that league. Is it his 3rd season up in League 2? So yeah, he's pushing Spartans all the way. I think pushing East Kilbride all the way, I should say. They're playing each other this weekend at Ainsley Park. So I think if East Kilbride win that and go 4 clear, you could probably write them in as your champions. But yeah, if Spartans get the win, I mean, it's all to play for.
Yeah.
Who would you rather see go up out of those two? I assume
I mean,
Spartans.
Well, I said
for
Spartans
me,
would win the league, did I not? So I'm going with the Spartans' dream. Come on, Mark McNulty to fire them to promotion. It's happening.
Yeah,
Come on,
I'd
Spartans.
like to see it. I think that they are, they're probably slightly punching above their weight if they're promoted. But I mean, they've had a great season, an unbelievable season. I would prefer to see them do it than East Kilbride, just purely because East Kilbride have only just shot into the league themselves. But what a great story still for East Kilbride, get in, double promotion, straight into League One. That would be something else. So yeah, it's good to see a bit of competition there. Good to see a bit of consistency as well. Spartans have only lost 7 games this season. So really impressive. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing either, but if I had to pick one, I'd say Spartans.
I think we can't lie and say we watch a lot of League 2 football. I did watch, since we announced it last week, I have prepared a bit and tried to watch some highlights from different games and read a few match reports and tried to get a bit more involved in these lower league these lower league teams. But from what I can see with East Kilbride, I think if they do come up, they're going to need to adjust the way they're playing ever so slightly. They're doing the... Remember what everyone was saying about Klopp when he came to Liverpool the first couple of seasons? They were just trying to outscore teams, and they played football didn't care about conceding, just try and outscore the other team. And I think that's what East Kilbride are doing. They've not had the best defensive record for a team at the top of the league. It's open football. They've won a lot of games like 4-3, 4-2, 3-2. But yeah, they'll maybe need to adjust a bit if they come up into the likes of League One. But yeah, it's quite a bold statement, wasn't it, at the start of the season from... I'm not going to mention his name, he's another podcast rival, but the owner, or one of the owners at East Kilbride, saying that they're going to try and bounce up the leagues and do a Wrexham, to quote them again.
Yeah.
But they've kind of put their money where their mouth is, haven't they? They've backed it up.
Yeah,
definitely. And, they've got the infrastructure, to do that. It wasn't like they were... You could say that they were being over ambitious when they said that at the time. They have the setup to be pushing into League One. So yeah, credit to them. They've stuck to it. They've done a great job. They've continued to strengthen. If they don't manage it this season for whatever reason, you would fancy them to be in a similar position next season. They look like they've got that sort of steadiness, whereas Spartans perhaps haven't really had that sort of consistent sort of push. So I think that's the only thing, what happens to Spartans next season, whereas East Kilbride, you can kind of see them continuing to go strength to strength, maybe not too much further than League One, but I think they would be pretty competitive there.
It's been a topsy-turvy battle at the top. Spartans won their game in the midweek to go top, and then obviously they dropped points on Saturday, and East Kilbride went top again. So it's not as if they've had it all their own way, East Kilbride. It's been a really sort of helter-skelter title race, which is quite exciting. And I think if East Kilbride do come second, I think they're quite strong, so they could even go up through the playoffs, depending on who comes ninth. But I think they have enough to beat Hamilton or even Cove. So it could be a case of 2 up, 2 down. I always like.
Yeah, I think either of those top 2 teams, Spartans or East Kilbride, have got enough to beat Cove, potentially East Fife, whoever finishes in that 10th spot. 9th spot, sorry.
Least Fife, mate. Least Fife. Oh. Garbage. Least Fife, son.
Oh, he's slagging them off as well. Who's the biggest team in Fife? We'll get on to the Dunfermline and Raith chat in a bit, but it's not going to end well for you. You're a joke of a club. Absolute joke. Yeah, that's the top. I think for me, I can't remember exactly where I said Clyde would finish when we did the predictions at the start of the season, but it definitely wasn't third. And they had a bit of a horrendous season last year. They were almost in the playoff spots to go down. They were struggling. But their defence was a mess last year as well. They shipped third worst defensive record last year, something like that. This year they've had the most clean sheets, the fewest goals conceded. I didn't see that coming, and obviously they're not playing at their home ground either. They've been away at Hamilton for this season. So yeah, massive credit to them for getting in. They should finish third now. I think. I don't see anyone else. Yeah,
definitely. They're
challenging.
They're pretty impressive setup behind the scenes there, Clyde. They, are obviously really focused on trying to make that journey back to Glasgow, but they seem very kind of steady with that fan ownership model. They've got good representation in that board as well, to sort of respect that model, I think, and I think that sort of steadiness has brought a little bit more steadiness onto the pitch as well. So yeah, I think if Clyde don't make it up through the playoffs this season, I think they'll be in around the mix next season. I can see it's a team that is going from strength to strength, been through some rough times, but have kind of ridden through it and seem to be paying the fruits now with a decent, convincing playoff finish as well. So good to see that.
Can't really see them going up through the playoffs, I don't think, because the
they'd
if
be
they're going to come
lucky.
up against either East Kilbride or
Yeah.
Spartans,
They'd
Yeah,
be very
I can't
lucky.
see-
It can happen, like, you know,
It can do,
that's
but-
it can happen, but obviously the lower down, the more games you've got to contend with. But for me in that league, the biggest surprise is Dumbarton's fall. You know, is, you know, them. I don't know where they'll finish, but you know, to be down near the bottom. Is quite surprising. You know, it's quite a significant drop from then getting relegated to really struggling at the bottom there. I know they obviously had their difficulties, and you remember with the amount of trialists they were playing at the start of the season and all that kind of thing. But they won't go down. I can't see that obviously happening, but does it look healthy for them moving into next season? I don't really know. I'm not sure. I'm not really seeing enough to convince me that they're maybe going to bounce back up and start competing next season, but maybe I'm wrong.
It might not be instant, but the thing is, they're safe, aren't they? They're not going to drop into that 10 spot, which would see them in a playoff. That's taken by City because of their massive points deduction. Mm-hmm. But the one thing I noticed about this league is if City and Dumbarton hadn't had those points deductions, there'd be 5 teams on 36 points, and then it'd be Annan 34, Beano's 32. So, you know, throw a hat over those teams. It's unbelievable. I think is it the top 3 of those teams that I'd mentioned, sorry? For Stranraer and Elgin have all played 29, won 9, drawn 9, and lost 11. Their goal difference is -1, -2, and -3. It's unbelievable. They're so similar. I think I've just pulled the cable out of my laptop.
It's a bit of a poor season for Stirling, you mentioned there, who were League One season before last. I mean, that's a bit of a drop-off for them, Tam, your hometown club.
Sorry, just reconnecting. Yeah, nah. I think when you look at those clubs, though, the ones we've just mentioned, Forfar, Stranraer, Elgin, Annan, Beano's, Dumbarton probably less so, but they're all kind of mid-table League 2 fodder that have had glimpses of time in League 1 over the last sort of 5-6 years, but then come back down. None of them are... It's not like there's any... You know, you're not seeing Caley in League 1 and thinking, shit, that's a Premiership or Championship team. There's no one in there, really, that looks massively out of place in mid-table in League 2. I don't think, anyway.
No, that's true. That's very true.
So, yeah, I mean, Stirling finishing 8th in League 2 or finishing 4th at the start of the season, you wouldn't be surprised too much at either. But I get your point, yeah. The thing that's you're seeing more and more often in these leagues, though, I think, is the likes of an Arbroath who are getting, I know we'll come on to the Championship later, but getting promoted and doing well, or an East Fife getting promoted and staying up, or Peterhead as well this season getting up in, there's loads of teams that are finding their feet when they get promoted and not just struggling and getting, like, dropping straight back down is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Peterhead missed a point there, sorry, the wrong team I've named, and I've just spilled out my shirt as well. This is awful. It's a disaster. The last thing I had to mention about this division was Mark McNulty. Matthew, you mentioned him earlier on. Yep. What a bizarre career this man has had. At 27, he got two Scotland caps. He played for Sunderland and Dundee United around about that time. Then got moved to California, I think, over to Ireland with Shamrock Rovers, then down to Australia, and now only aged 33, only 6 years later, he's playing in Scottish League 2. Is mental. What a career.
Yep, he scored 25 goals in 45 games for Coventry in 2017-2018 season, was the top scorer, player of the year. Hibs, 2 spells at Hibs. Dundee United for 2 years. Yeah, Orange County SC. Never heard of them.
Yeah, there's a couple of players from Scotland that ended up going there. Actually,
Yeah,
I know
Kelly,
there's a
that's
couple
right.
of ex-Rangers players.
Stephen Kelly, yeah.
Stephen
Rangers
Kelly,
players
I
off to
think.
Orange, were they?
Yeah. Harry Forrester and Rob Kiernan, I think, went there. And they've started like an academy out there or whatever.
What's the point in going down to like the second division of America? Because you can't get promoted, so what's the point then?
I think it's the lifestyle. I think you're going
high
over
gas
for
prices
for
and
that.
fucking Racism and ICE agents and all that crap, mate.
Yeah, some people like that, you know. Some people really like that, you know.
Some people
so,
like Rangers fans, mate. Rangers players.
Excuse me, Mr. Nigel Farage in the group chat.
Hi, what's said in the group chat is all tongue in cheek.
Matthew just likes British things. That's it. So
just give me a Yorkshire pudding stuffed with fucking sausages and garden peas.
Bubble and squeak.
Bubble squeak.
Have they ever tried to bring the Hooters franchise over to the UK?
I'm sure there was one in Liverpool. To be fair, no? Was it Liverpool?
Nottingham, I think it was. Yeah, I think there was only one in the UK. I thought it might be different now, but yeah, there was only one in the UK. Yeah, it's a weird thing.
I don't know an awful lot about that.
No, so I heard through like a friend.
What's Hooters by chance? What is it?
I think it's like an owl sanctuary. But yeah.
Don't like owls that much, mate.
Nah, me neither. So that's why I've never gone. But
I like tits.
Yeah, blue tits.
Blue tits, of course. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Blue jays, pigeons.
Blue jays. That's it. Yeah, exactly. A little bit of variety.
Blue jay. Blue tits.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Moving on, or
anyway. Yeah, I think that's a nice little segue into League One.
Yeah, sorry to any League Two listeners or anyone who just knows about Scottish football. We've not really covered that to our usual high degree of ball knowledge, but we'll move on to League One, a division that Andrew knows probably, I would say, maybe best of the three of us because of his involvement in the game, but we'll keep that on the QT to not put too much pressure on to be the expert here. But yeah, League One has, again, it's a pretty tight title race between Inverness Caledonian Thistle and surprise second place team in Stenhousemuir. I know they did quite well last year getting into the playoffs, but don't think anyone expected them to be pushing on as high as 1 point off of first. I know Caley have obviously had their points deduction, which helps them a bit, but yeah, really, that's the biggest talking point for me is how impressive Gary Naysmith's team has been. Very, very resolute. Sets his team up to try and not concede, but they've not lacked goals either. They've put a few weaker teams to the sword, at times scoring with ease. Quite smart signings as well, getting Ollie White on loan from Motherwell, I think. And a few. Did they not sign that boy for Queen's Park at centre half, that young lad who's been their sort of standout centre back? So yeah, I think Stenhousemuir under Naysmith have been fantastic. I'd love to see them go up through the playoffs and kick on. We played them. Did we play them? Or am I thinking of last season? I'll move on from that point because it's not making any sense. But yeah, what's your thoughts on this title race? Kelleher's boys up against Naysmith. Matthew, I know you were a big fan of Scott Kelleher last season. Has he delivered what you expected? Or
I'm a Kellerholic, so I do like I do like him. He's done a good job at Inverness, a real man with the people there. I certainly wrote off Stenhousemuir in my predictions early on in the season, which was proved complete bullshit, non-surprisingly. Yeah, they're doing amazing. Gary Naysmith, what a run he's on with Stenhouse. They won their first ever league title season before last, challenging the playoffs last season, and now challenging again for promotion to the Championship, which is incredible for a team that I've sort of just on my lifetime just languished in League Two. You know, don't ever remember them being this good. So it's a brilliant time to be a Stenny fan. I think Inverness will be too strong. I don't know if Stenny score enough goals, which may be the problem for them. I think when are they playing each other?
I think they just recently had a 0-0, and that was the last time they played each other. No,
11th of April they're playing at Ochil View. So there you go.
Nice.
That'll be a fucking showstopper. I think Inverness will just have too much quality in the final third, and they'll win the title. But I think it might go down to certainly last couple of weeks of the season. But I mean, amazing job for Stenny to really keep going toe to toe Inverness. And Gary Naysmith to the Rovers, mate. If it doesn't work out with Tukey Imrie, I'd take Gary Naysmith. Surely he's in line for a good job next season. Like,
how many managers do you need?
Hey, son, just keep the options open for the club. Just keeping the options open. But Gary Naysmith,
mate, at this point, you're a fucking option to the club.
Too right, mate. You should see my football manager.
Exactly.
Completed it, mate.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Gary Naysmith, doing great.
It'd be a shame for the
Yeah.
club if they did do well, either win the league or go up via the playoffs, and then he gets poached to another, say, championship club at the same level just because they're able to pay him more.
Yeah.
You'd like to see what he'd be able to do with Stenhousemuir in the championship. It'd be akin to what Dick Campbell achieved with Arbroath, taking them all the way up and challenging in
As long
the
as you don't do a
championship.
break-in, then that's the only thing, eh?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that could happen if they do lose him, I guess. But I mean, he was one of the favourites for the St Mirren job, so it kind of says it all, with how sort of highly rated he is and what a job he is in fact doing there. Obviously, Inverness were pretty vocal, close of last season and start of this. And I think the arse must be squeaking a wee bit now, as they're getting to the closing stages. But yeah, what a job he's done. Really well deserved. Only lost 4 games this season. It's just superb. Likewise with Caley Thistle, of course, but to be keeping up with not nearly as much sort of resources and for a club that really hasn't been sort of pushing hard for championship football, what a turnaround, huge turnaround. So hats off to him. The rest of the league mostly is it's kind of sort of almost split into 3, isn't it? But yeah, Alloa, you would expect to kind of be up in the mix. Queen of the South, potentially kind of underperformed over a few seasons. So, to see them sort of securing a playoff spot would be pretty impressive. But Peterhead, I think, deserve a lot of credit. They, have come up and they've remained sort of well into safety. And it'd be interesting to see how they maybe kick on next season. They look very stable. So I think that's one that maybe doesn't get talked about enough in that league. But as for the sort of bottom, 6 onwards, I guess, you would expect that could kind of look any which way, at the start of the season. What's going to happen to Hamilton next season is a big question mark. It seems that, I don't know, it's every month or so you're hearing about wages not being paid, or hearing about something a bit dodgy, I guess, going on behind the scenes, which just is clear signs of struggling to survive. So even if they do stay up or whether they go down, next season, I don't think it matters too much. I think they're in real big trouble. And I can't really see a light at the end of the tunnel for them at the moment. So I think that's potentially another fallen horse in Scottish football coming maybe within the next 12 months.
Sorry, I don't know if anyone's speaking. My laptop's just going tits. Every audio thing that I've got open, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, everything that I had open at one point has just started playing at once, and I can't close off the sources fast enough. I got most of that. And I know you're talking about Hamilton and the dodgy dealings, and they've had 21 points off. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the only way they're going directly down is if they get more points deductions between now and the end. I think they've got more than enough to see off Kelty. They've been very, very poor by their own pretty decent standards in League One over the last 3 or 4 years. Hamilton, I think, based on the fixtures that are left and the form that they're in, I think they'll have enough to overtake Cove, potentially East Fife before the end of the season. It'll be most likely Cove in that 9th spot for a playoff, I think. I think all those teams near the bottom of this league, they all play each other between now and the end of the season. Their fixture list just rotates. So Kelty are down, I would say, but then between Cove and East Fife for that relegation spot, I think Hamilton will pull through. Montrose are one of those teams that are bang where they should be, I think, without sounding too harsh. If you look at a League One table over the last 5-10 years, they're pretty much always between 6th and 3rd, maybe, and apart from 1 or 2 seasons where they've struggled a bit. But yeah, they're almost always in that mid-table. And how much longer can they hang on to 42-year-old Sean Dillon? And he's played 19 games for them this season, remarkably, age 42. So I think surely it comes the time to call it.
Yeah, I mean, what a job Petrie's done at Montrose for a long period of time. They're now a stable League One club, which is brilliant. Never really in danger of going down. And have the odd foray into the promotion playoffs. So yeah, it's a great time to be a Montrose fan in their most successful period ever. And Dillon what was he in the United team? Was he in the joint United
the glory
Dundee
years?
He was in the cup winning team, mate. Yeah.
Was he part of the Robbo Jimbo team of the Shiters? Was it?
Robbo Jimbo team of shiters. He was nominated by James, I think, for right back. I can't recall if he got the right back spot for the combined United and Dundee 11.
What did he do on the phones? I remember. You phoned up Dundee United and Sean Dillon was answering the phones? Or what was it?
It's just a recorded message from Dillo, yeah, saying thanks for phoning. I'm not going to do the accent. That was awful. Thanks for phoning United. Yeah,
that was just like forced to work in the answering the phones after the training or that.
Potentially the fittest footballer that's ever existed as well. He was unreal. Just a lovely guy by all accounts. But what do you think? See if you're a Montrose fan, and they're obviously, like you say, having the most stable period in their history. They're sitting in League One. They've had a couple of forays into the playoff spots. Are you happy with that, or do you think that it's time maybe for as good as Petrie's been? Is it time to shift him along, try and shuffle things up? And
no,
can they push further than that?
No. Well, no. Why? Come on, man. What if it goes fucking tits up? You hire some Diddy and then you're fucking back in League Two. Why would you not just stick with like an amazing manager, a class act, and why can't he take them up in the next couple of years? I mean, the League One's been an absolutely solid league for a long time. You had Falkirk just 2 years ago were fucking in League One. You've had Hamilton. You've had
Caley Thistle.
Rovers were there not too recently. So who knows when a few of these big hitters stay out of the league for a couple of seasons, then Montrose could effectively be challenging at the top or thereabouts. I mean, look what Stenhousemuir are doing. I don't think it's inconceivable that Petrie can continue to progress things upwards with him. So leave him alone, mate. What's your problem, eh?
No, hey, I'm not calling for his head. It's just a question you've got to ask. It's the same with asking the question about Martindale a few months ago. You know, people, I know it's apples and oranges a bit, but people were clinging on to him just because of how he's like Mr. Livingston. He's been part of the furniture. He's done every job at Livingston for years. You can't move him on. But it was clear it was a bit stale after a while. And I'd argue, but depends on Montrose's ambitions. If they're happy being a League One club and they think that's all they can ever achieve, then fine. But surely in football, you've got to have more like higher aspirations. And if he's not achieving that in how many years? Maybe it takes 20 years for them to go up. Maybe it does, but or some investment. I don't know. Just asking the question.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. You know, it's quite a significant overhaul. You know, that would be needed to be able to do anything like the teams that are sort of, you know, shooting up leagues, etc. You know, they've had quite an aging squad for a while. And to radically change that, I think would be really risky. You know, that could end up putting you in hot water. So they're kind of sticking to what they know, I guess, and building a bit of stability that way. But ultimately, that tactic obviously can't last forever, especially when you've got players of that age, you know, hanging on for that long. You know, you've got to be careful that doesn't backfire. But look, to be fair, it's working out for them. You know, they're convincingly staying in the league. Are Montrose set up to be a team, you know, competitive in the Championship? I don't really think so, personally. But just we could be wrong. Obviously, we've seen good examples of small teams, if you like, if you want to call them that, going into the championship and maybe doing all right. But, I don't think they're anywhere near the kind of setup of, say, even like an Arbroath, for example.
No, the background, the sort of structure, like you're saying, above the manager, maybe that's what's... Yeah. Like, maybe they're just happy in League One, and fair enough, until something else changes, an injection of cash or whatever else. Or maybe the gaffer steps aside and that'll naturally move things up, or shuffle things up. But yeah, they're doing fine. It was interesting, I think, we'd spoken about the relegation scrap kind of near the start of the season when Kelty and Cove were both really struggling to pick up results at the start. I know Cove got 2 points from their first 30 available points, and then they've obviously turned that around a wee bit. But they're still in with a chance of being in that relegation playoff.
Mm-hmm.
You got to give credit to Cove for sticking by him. I know he had a lot of credit in the bank for what he's achieved at Cove before, but it's easy to pull the trigger. And if you're at a bigger club with more finances, you probably would have done. But shows that the lower leagues and the lack of managerial changes that tend to happen in the lower leagues, it can pay off. Like 2 points, 2 draws out of 10 games to start the season is instantly firing material for anyone Championship and Premiership. They've hung on to him and they might still survive. So yeah, just a shout out to Cove for sticking by their man. As of Kelty, I don't think it looks like it's going to pay off for them. I think it's maybe a wee bit too far gone. Can you remember any other teams that have gone a full season without winning a game at home? I couldn't find any other stats on it, but looks like they're maybe headed that way.
It's pretty poor. Yeah, they haven't had a good season at all, which is a real shame because over the last few years they've been I would say quite impressive. When they were experiencing I suppose those good days with Tidser. That I think that's really sort of where their luck kind of, or their good run of forms kind of then ran out. Obviously Charlie Mulgrew coming in didn't work out, and then passing it over to Tam Ware, it was a huge risk. He's an inexperienced manager. I know he's got Tidser in the coaching staff now, but I just think the dynamic is maybe a bit unusual. Perhaps
must be weird.
I can't really think of many other examples of when that's actually happened in Scottish football. So yeah, personally, I think just with a change of ownership, them maybe not wanting to come across as the guys that are coming in and pulling the trigger or whatever might be a factor. Having a bit of respect for the loyalty that typically Kelty have shown managers over the last few years. I think that they probably just needed that settling in period, and it's just not all kind of settled out quickly enough. What will happen next season is exciting, I think, on that side, because they've had that takeover, and it seems like there's some very knowledgeable, experienced individuals within that consortium who have a really good background in sport, have a good track record of doing things well at a high level. So the owner or the majority shareholder, Jordan, has been quite vocal in the press over the last month or so about his ambitions to be one of the best or the best part-time team in Scotland. Obviously would have quite a long way to go to try and sort of compete with Arbroath in that respect, but it just shows you that there is strong ambition there. Whereas if you look at other takeovers that have maybe happened over the last couple of years, maybe from the same neck of the woods ish, perhaps they've not been so convincing and vocal about what their intentions are. So I think it will be an exciting season for Kelty next season. I don't necessarily think that they'll bounce straight back up, but to see them maybe evolve and have that steadiness would be good. But yeah, I think the whole sort of Tamil Weir situation, has been very difficult. He's had a really tough time into his first sort of step into management. A lot of injuries, basically hardly any options up front. To actually play week on week, having to pull in a lot of youngsters, and them not really having that academy set up established to be able to draft them in. I think it's been really, really challenging for him. So hopefully it doesn't completely sort of skew his management career. He's a good guy, and very determined. But it's been a rough old season for them.
It's tough for Tamil Weir as well. If you look at the clubs at the bottom there, with the exception of Hamilton, because they are based on their form anyway, it's just the points deduction that brings them down there. So if you remove them, you've got Hartley and his experience managing Cove, Dick Campbell at East Fife, and Peter, I've already mentioned at Montrose. Those are the other relegation sort of teams that you'd be expecting them to be scrapping with. And he's by far the most inexperienced out of that bunch. So he's up against it, even if potentially he had a better squad or whatever it might be. Really, really tough to try and beat those teams off. So yeah, it'd be a shame to see them go down, because he's... Pardon? Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, what was he doing to the other teams?
What's that? Sorry, I missed that.
What was he doing to the other teams?
Was that playing against them?
Oh right, okay. Sorry, I thought you said he was beating them off. My bad.
Oh, I would never say such things.
No worries, I must have misheard you, mate. It's fine.
Cool, man. I genuinely missed what you were pissing yourself at. Oh god.
So good.
Right, Struggy, just speak for 15 minutes all about the Scottish Championship. I'm not going to give you any introductions here. What's your take been on this season so far from all aspects?
I can't cover all aspects, mate. Come on, you ask the questions, son.
Come on, just beat them off. It's fine.
Give me the questions and I'll beat them off. I'll beat them off one by one.
No, I want to know what your thoughts are. We'll start with the obvious one, with Raith. 2 seasons ago, I think, 2 seasons ago, he's finished second to Dundee United, close, narrowly lost out in the playoff final, I think, to get promoted to the Premiership. And the first game of the following season, he gets binned. And then this season, you've gone through a couple of managers. You're speaking about Peter at Montrose. What God-given right do Raith have to be up in the Premiership? So maybe you should just be happy with Barry Robson and sit in the mid-table of the Championship. No? It's gone worse.
I'm not a decision maker at the club. Not yet. I understand why they let Robson go. I don't think he was the most inspiring of characters. However, the appointment of Emery hasn't quite galvanised the squad as we would have hoped. I certainly had high hopes that we would be challenging for the playoffs much closer than we are. It has been a bit of a tough slog, certainly away from home. I don't know if anyone has any stats on our away form.
I think you've only won 6, I think it was.
Scored 6, mate.
Right?
Scored 6. Only
Close
won 2 games away from home, is that right?
Yeah,
only
both 1-0 wins. Yeah, we've really struggled away.
Good stats.
Yeah, good stats. Yeah, creatively, away from home, it's been very difficult. So I don't know. I mean, we've obviously got a really good result at the weekend to sort of pull away from the relegation playoffs. And if we win tomorrow night against Caley Thistle, we'd only be 4 points behind Dunfermline. So if we win all our games from now until the end of the season, we might get in the promotion playoffs. But no, all seriousness, I was more worried about relegation really than promotion the last few weeks. So to win on Saturday was a real relief. I'd like to see Emery have a chance to reshape the squad. I think 12, 13 players out of contract, a lot of older players in the squad. I'd like us to sort of pursue a different transfer approach next season. Focus more on sort of hungrier, younger players, as opposed to sort of older players on higher wages. Young Kai Montague came off the bench and scored 2 at the weekend. He's a young prospect, really exciting. I think that's the way to go for the Rovers next season. Get boys that Emery can really sort of mould in his image, and become like quite a physical, aggressive team that way. I know he likes that. So, I mean, I'm confident he'll do well next season, but this season's been a bit of a disappointment, really.
Why do you feel confident next season? Because I mean, obviously you've ran through a hell of a lot of managers. I mean, even sort of going back to, I don't know, Ray McKinnon, onwards. You're going through like a manager a year, at least at the moment. What's the core problem? Because I mean, you look at the teams that are above Raith at the moment. The majority of them you could probably argue are a smaller team, than Raith Rovers. Raith Rovers really should be steadily, and securely competing in the championship sort of playoff level, in my opinion, pushing for, and they should be in a position at the moment where they are, pushing to win leagues and pushing to get themselves up into the Prem. What do you think is realistically stopping that from happening? Because I know obviously you're saying Emery, if he has the tools over the summer, you think he'll do the job. But based on what though? Ultimately he's been a steady Eddie in the championship. We were talking obviously about Naysmith and how exciting a prospect he is. And you could see if he took a championship job that, potentially, exactly what you said, taking in some exciting signings, young signings, and allowing them to sort of be molded into, whatever he needs. And as long as he's got the tools, he can certainly push upwards. Do you really think that Emery would be the guy next season to provide a bit more stability up near the top?
I think he certainly talks well. He does have a certain style in the way he speaks and the way he talks about the players. I think the squad is not down tools per se. I mean, they clearly still care about the club, but I think they're a squad that's at the end of its cycle. Obviously, you had the promotion season or the promotion challenge a couple of years ago, which was sort of the real sort of high point, and since then it's been kind of downhill. We obviously brought in, Stevenson and Hanlon, who have done relatively well for us, but you've still got players in that team like Byrne and Brown and others that aren't playing as well or is injured quite a lot. So I think the squad does need a revamp. I think this summer will be the chance to completely sort of change the squad for the first time in a few years. So that could be a positive if you bring in some good players. I think it is hard to argue positively for Emery, obviously, based on results, but we have had some glimpses of really exciting moments. Obviously, battering County 6-0, we put 4 past Queen's Park at home, where he got us to the Challenge Cup final. So where it has been difficult, there have been positive moments. In terms of Rovers challenging at the top, I mean, in my lifetime, we under John McGlynn, we came second at Dunfermline. We got in the playoffs under Ray McKinnon, and then McGlynn's second spell, we're doing relatively well at the top of the championship. But other than that, and obviously Murray's season a couple of years ago, other than that, it's kind of been mid-table, the odd relegation, a couple of relegations, League One a few times. So the Rovers have had a number of off-field problems for a long time, particularly to do with ownership around the stadium, stuff like that. Obviously, we brought in new owners or new majority shareholders a few years ago, with the boys from Kelty coming in. Obviously, that's changed again. They've sort of left one by one, so it's a bit uncertain at the moment. I mean, I don't know why Rovers aren't doing better than they are. I mean, certainly mismanagement. I don't know, bad decisions. I mean, you can look at off the back of positive seasons, bad decisions after that. I mean, obviously Ray McKinnon's season, we came 4th, were really good. He left. He was stolen from us, rather disgracefully. And then the season after that, we hired Gary Locke, which was a disaster. And then John Hughes came in, and we got relegated to League One, losing to Brecon in the playoffs. I mean, that was a terrible season. And then you look at obviously Ian Murray at a similar time at the Rovers did really, really well, and then the season after that he left randomly, and after one game we had appointed Neil Collins and then Robson in him again. So we've just not really built on positive seasons. Either the managers have left or we've made bad decisions. And then you could look at the John McGlynn situation as well with the whole Goodwillie saga, which really was a disappointing chapter, because I think that sort of McGlynn left. I don't know if that hadn't happened, he might have stayed on a bit longer at the club, and then who knows where we could have gone. So again, we've just never really been able to maintain a sort of consistent level, or there's just been a lot of changes, like you say, so that's what's really affected consistency in the club. So I think you've got to try and give him really like 1 or 2 seasons. I mean, you have to just let him try and mould the team in his image and not be too hasty with the decision making, because that's clearly where we've faltered in the past.
I mean, I personally agree with you. Like, I would like to see Emery be given a chance, and ideally you want to see him, be given an opportunity that is a clear step up, from where he's been, and that does come down to the sort of infrastructure, as you said, above him. I do think that clearly, the appointments from Kelty Hearts were probably more disruptive than helpful, from an outsider looking in. But is there any kind of messaging from the ownership since those kind of changes have been made that they're maybe looking to implement a wee bit more stability, or they're discussing transfer policies or how they're going to back Emery, or is there anything really coming out that gives comfort to fans?
They did come out with a statement, one of the shareholders, saying that we're doing okay. It wasn't a financial decision, or that we're not going to be financially unstable now that Mackenzie's left. So in terms of that, I think we would be looking to trim the budget. I've not said it, but I mean the squad is quite bloated, and there's going to be a lot of high earners within the squad. So I think there may be a period of a change in transfer policy to maybe go for younger players. I mean, look at the squad. You've got Hanlon, you've got Stevenson, you've got obviously Sean Byrne. These are players that are playing quite a high level. Dylan Easton, I'd imagine, would be on a good amount of money as well. So I think he's under contract for next season. You've got like Jack Hamilton, Josh Mullen, who were high earners in the Championship. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think we'll have as much money to be splashing it. We've hardly spent it super wisely. I mean, we're not. I don't know. I'd like to see us sort of refine the transfer policy and look towards youth players. Like, I think that's the way to go. But just life of a Rovers fan, eh? It's we're never going to get to the Premier League in my lifetime, so I've just accepted that now.
Come on, don't say that.
It's been like 35 years, mate, or whatever it's been.
It can't have been 35 years.
It's been like 30 years, I think, since it's been in top flight.
Yeah, maybe
I'm
30,
only 20,
yeah.
I'm only 21. I've never seen it. But no, it certainly won't be this season, I don't think. But as long as we don't get relegated or dragged into a relegation battle, which was a real concern, then I think it's fine just to be mid-table like for a couple of years and then see how it goes. I mean, they did a lot of good stuff off the pitch. They certainly improved the stadium, hospitality and sponsorships and all that sort of thing. Commercially, the club is really in a strong position.
Absolutely.
It's a shame the two can't sort of. They did a line for that one season under Murray where the place was booming, and then since then, just poor decisions have really sort of brought things back to where they used to be in terms of the attendances and the sort of level of noise and stuff. It's kind of back being a bit quieter again. But again, these things can pick up. A few positive results next season, and people can get excited again. But we'll see. That's enough Rovers chat. It's depressing me, man.
Just a few positive results this season, though, mate. I think it's made to look worse because normally in a season you've got 10th place as an outlier who's points adrift, and you're not really. Right now you've got 4 teams that could potentially go straight down. Maybe even you could argue 6 teams that could go straight down. There's 8 point gap between 10th and 5th. And like you say, if you get 3 or 4 wins in a row, which in the Championship, it's not impossible, you could be pushing upwards towards 4th. So just because right now the football's not been that enjoyable to watch, or you're not where you want to be, or you went on that wee bad run of form, and you were looking like you were slipping towards a relegation fight, it's so easy to turn that around because things are so tight. So it's 6 games left.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the season, you could be saying this was fine. You could be finishing 5th, and that's not a terrible season for the Rovers. So
I know we've got a home game Tuesday and a home game on Saturday, so we could effectively get 9 points in a week. So you never know. You're right.
You need 6 home games because you're no winning away, are you?
No, mate. A few 0-0s away.
Yeah.
There's
not. Sorry, on you go.
It's recoverable, but I think the point is that it should be a bit more convincing for Raith Rovers. Look at Arbroath, you look at Ayr United, Queen's Park, that are ahead of them. You look at what they're competing around and against, Greenock Morton, Ross County, Airdrieonians. I think it just has to be more convincing. If Partick Thistle can be up there competing, Dunfermline, Arbroath especially, like there's got to be a pretty secure spot for Raith Rovers there in future. Like there has to be.
There has to be, but it doesn't. That's football, isn't it? You can't be there every single season. You're going to have. You've had teams go down in the League One, similar as the Rovers have, unless you've got. I was going to say the Hearts and the Hibs and the Dundee United money, but even those teams have gone up and down. I don't know. This phrase in football, this isn't a criticism of you. It just people are like, Raith Rovers have to be doing this, or have to be doing better, or this team has to be doing this. I mean, if you finish 5th on 42 points, for example, it's like, meh. It's not the end of the world. And then next season you might finish 3rd, and then you might finish 7th, and then you might finish 4th again. I don't know. It's a pointless comment from me.
As long as we're not in League One, like that's the thing. Just stay in the Championship, dick about there for a while, and then maybe challenge for promotion once every 10 years.
Yeah, it's going to take a bit of time to build, which is why these decisions from the top to get rid of Murray when he's did, and then cycle through managers, like, it's just set you back 5 years.
Yeah.
If you'd hung on to Murray and built something, or allowed him to build something,
I know
you could this season be talking about a title challenge, but alas, numpties above
could be worse.
Ruined your chances.
Could be Ross County.
Oh my god.
Very true. They are abysmal. Who's finishing last out of the
Got to be Airdrie. Surely it's going to be Airdrie.
I mean, it has to be, but I mean, you look at County's form, over the last 6 games, it's very similar. So it's not like they've brought in Kettlewell and it's been an upwards trajectory. It started maybe okay-ish, and then it's kind of into pretty dodgy form again. So
the one thing Kettlewell has done though is stabilise things at the back. They were shipping goals left and right. He's got 6 clean sheets out of his 11 games, and I think they only had 3 in their 18 or 19 games before that. So yeah, he stabilised things at the back, and if they can continue to be defensively solid for the rest of the season, I think they'll be safe. But they're really struggling to score goals. It's Ronan Hill left obviously in January to go down south, and they've not replaced him with anyone. They're barely scoring a goal.
No, that's the problem. And the thing is, we were just talking about it. If it's going to be Caley Thistle or Stenny, that are sort of favourites for the playoff spot. They don't want to be playing either of those teams.
No,
obviously it would be a disaster to get relegated by Caley Thistle. But this is the thing. These are 2 teams on decent form. Lost 4 games all season. So far County have lost 14. So it's chalk and cheese, and you really wouldn't fancy them. So yeah, they've kind of got to get their skates on and close that gap between sort of themselves and Raith or Greenock Morton.
Yeah, they just can't get a consistent run of wins. Like, they just win one game, the odd win, and draw, lose.
But to be fair, like, if you actually look at the form of Raith Rovers, their form is actually worse over the last 6 games. And you look at Greenock Morton, they've got more losses. They've got 2 wins rather than just the one. So it's pretty nip and tuck, from Rovers downwards, in terms of the form. You do have a game in hand, though, must say. So that's really important. But it would be a disaster if Ross County went down. Absolute disaster. It looked like a stick on that they probably would, before Kettlewell came in, but it still would be an absolute disaster if they end up in that playoff spot and or go directly down. It just, with the amount of money that they've got at their disposal, and the amount of time they've spent in the Premier League, that would be a real fall from grace.
There's a chance that, I think for the first time ever, there could be 2 up, 2 down in all 3 leagues. If you look at the top 2 in League 2 with East Kilbride and Spartans, then you've got Stenny and Caley, and then I think Partick Thistle, the job Mark Wilson's done there is pretty remarkable. I almost wrote them off at the start of the season thinking they'd be struggling to get into the playoffs, and they've been playing brilliant football. So, and look at the bottom 2 in the Livingston are gone, but then the playoff teams that are likely to finish down there, either Killy or St Mirren, Ross County or Airdrie potentially, and we mentioned earlier the bottom of League 1 and that playoff spot for League 2. 2 up, 2 down across all 3 could happen. Be quite interesting.
It definitely could happen. It's crazy, absolutely crazy season, especially if maybe Aberdeen end up going down as well. That's fucking nuts. Absolutely nuts. Aberdeen going down, Ross County going down. That's wild. And that's 2 teams that are not in financial difficulty as well. You've got to remember, a lot of the time where you've seen a lot of disruption at the top or whatever. Whether that's been for Rangers or Hibs or Hearts, etc. It's to have that for no real reason is fucking crazy, like absolutely mad.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
I'll give you, as the bookies do when you've got a bet on, I'll give you a cash out price for the Fazenda. Aberdeen are looking more and more likely. Right now, I'll give you a Greg's. Do you want to take the cash out, or do you want to let it run?
I've been boycotting Greg's for years.
Oh, so sorry. Yeah,
it's a no deal.
A large Big Mac meal once Ali and Mark are gone. Do you want to cash out?
How frequently am I getting this? Once a month?
Oh, it's just a one-off. It's a cash out. The top prize if Aberdeen get relegated is a Fazenda. So right now you can cash out for a Big Mac meal.
No, absolutely not.
No, let it run.
Absolutely not.
Cashing out's for pussies. Not that we don't condone gambling on this podcast. Right, anything else on Championship? We've kind of covered off. I'm not going to mention St Johnstone. The bookies expect them to win it. I think everyone pretty much did. They're doing what they should do with a budget of that size in that league. So well done to Valakari and his men. But I think you might struggle next year without Josh McPeak. We've mentioned Raith and the relegation scrap. Dunfermline. Just very quickly, the most up and down, hit or miss team for me this season in the Championship. I don't think they've gone more than, they've had a win streak of 2 once, I think, in the league. But they seem to, January they beat Hibs in the Cup, and then they beat St Johnstone in the league, and then the next game they play is against bottom of the league Airdrieonians at home, and they get beat. It seems to be 2 hit and miss. But I think if Dunfermline can keep Lenny, have a good window. Yeah. You wouldn't bet against them being pushing towards the top next year?
Yeah,
I agree.
Good team he's got. Yeah, Callum Morrison's been a great signing in January as well. Scored a few goals. And Andy Todd.
Todd, seriously.
He's doing well. 12 goals this season for the young man. They're looking good. Bloody boy.
Yeah, no, I think they are building, like they are getting better. I know obviously they've had a bit, a patchy form at times, but you definitely feel that something's building at Dunfermline, and they are set to become, a real challenger for next season. That could be really, yeah, absolutely. There's something going on there, and I mean, how much you can believe it, but it was in the press that it was a hands off, Lenny from Dunfermline to St Mirren, so they weren't even able to try and entertain initial talks or anything. It doesn't look like they're going in that direction anyway, but still, it shows that they have got Lennon as an investment. He's not just there, for a couple of seasons. They're looking to build and go into the Premiership. And to be fair, when Neil Lennon's been interviewed about that, over the last wee while, he's very much stuck to his guns on that. That he believes in the project, and he's doing it right, in my opinion. I think you can clearly see shoots there of something exciting. So yeah, could be a big one next season for them, but might just get even trickier if you've then got an Aberdeen or something like that going down. So I think for them,
determined to see them go down.
Oh yeah, I'd love it. But I mean, they're going to be wanting a slightly smaller team that are not in a position to drastically react, to allow them to keep going with that momentum. So, we'll see what happens. But no, pretty impressive and good football as well. When they are playing well, actually pretty good to watch.
Much to Matthew's dismay as a Rover. Yeah. Any words, Matthew, for Gold and Hamilton and the job that they're doing at Arbroath? Young managers, player managers?
Yeah. Always wondered how the dynamic of a joint manager sort of vibe goes. Like, what one of them does the training on a Tuesday, the other one does the training on a Thursday for the part-time boys.
Brent and Keenan approach, if you will.
One of them shouts at them. Another one's
Big
like,
up, back up.
"That's alright, son. Yeah, you're doing well." I don't know. What's the difference between a manager and assistant manager, and then two joint managers? How does it work? What's the vibe? That's all I really have to say about that. So,
two people doing half a job.
Anyone, any Arbroath fans listening, please let us know what the deal is. How does it work? What do they have? One car parking space, or they have two spaces? On the name on the door, does it say co-manager? That's all I'm interested in. But other than that, yeah, they're doing well. Their squad is like the most random squad ever, so fair play. Like a ragtag bunch of journeymen, and they're doing very, very well. So also,
it's amazing what good leadership can do, though, because I think Airdrie's squad and Arbroath squad, they're both as ragtag as each other, and yeah, one's just through poor management gone through 3 gaffers this season, and one through stability and trusting in the project, which is what Gold and Hamilton are. Yeah, it shows what a difference that can make. What were you saying,
wanted to hire them as as a manager, well, you only have a budget for one of them. Like, who do you choose? Which one's better? Gold or Hamilton?
Hard to tell who's better, I suppose, isn't it?
Interesting. But no, it is an interesting approach to have joint managers, and it clearly is working for them. I'm actually going to be going to Arbroath to see Arbroath v Rovers, so I'll keep an eye out in the dugout, see who does the shouting, who's sort of waving their hands about, and who shakes the manager's hand first. Sketch. Who shakes the manager's hand first, that's what we'll know who's the real gaffer. Whoever shakes everybody's hand first after the game, that's when we'll know. So I'll let you know.
Who's bollocks?
Unless they come at both sides, he has to shake one hand with his left hand and one with his right hand, just like this. Hello. So I'll let you know.
I feel like we're spiralling into a new level of nonsensicalness. Right.
In a world where sponsorship is more accessible than ever, that world exists at sportsponsorship.co.uk. Whether you're interested in making a difference to your local community or further afield, Or perhaps you're looking for access to tens of thousands of followers online to push your brand further than ever. Get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk. That's sportsponsorship.co.uk.
Right. Anything else on Championship before we move on? Or is it, I think, an hour and 20 minutes in, time for a quiz, perhaps?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I'm going to pit you against each other, as we've had a few quizzes in a row where you've been teaming up. And I know you like the competition. Been thinking about how to do this quiz and what format to use, and up until now I'm still undecided, so I'm just going to go with what I know, which is just you get 2 lives each, 2 incorrect answers, and whoever can name the most. You get 18 guesses each, and whoever can name the most wins. Can you hear me?
18 guesses, Tam.
I'll tell you what the question is, but I'm just making sure Andrew can still hear me. I'm getting a
Looks
confused
like you
face.
can't.
Yeah.
Making a face.
He's a bloody orange bastard, isn't he?
I've got you. But sorry, I couldn't hear you there.
Right, we're going to go Andrew then Matt, Andrew then Matt, back and forth. 18 guesses each. No. Andrew, you are from the most northern place in Scotland out of the two of you. Can you still hear me? Oh,
technical difficulties. What a surprise. I haven't had any. You mugs.
First time in 60 odd episodes, Matthew. Well done.
I don't know if you can hear me.
We can. We can.
Okay. I've got you back. I don't know what happened there. It's just cut out twice.
Okay. You still there? Happy to go?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Good. Okay.
So yeah,
right.
I'll guess what the
Andrew,
rules are. Don't worry.
You're from up the furthest north, from the Dundee area-ish, Angus, and Matthew is a Fife man. So, Andrew, you're going to name the current members of the Highland League, and Matthew is going to name the 18 clubs in the Lowland League. Wow. So there's no lives here. You just get 18 guesses each. Whoever can name the most is going to win. So, Andrew, starting with you, the current clubs with membership in the Highland Football League.
Fucking hell. This really caught me off guard. Wick.
I'll give you that. Wick Academy. Yes, that's one for you, Matthew.
Bonnyrigg Rose.
Correct. Andrew.
Brechin City.
Correct. Matthew.
Clydebank.
Correct.
Forest Mechanics.
Yes, well done.
Gretna. 2008.
Oh, he saved himself. Well done.
Fucking hell. Bucky Thistle.
Yes.
Trinent.
Yep, well done.
Banks of D.
Banks of D, correct. I'm going to need you to keep your own scores at this point. Is that 5-4, Andrew, with 5 guesses?
I don't know. I think we've been
I think I've said
going toe to toe so far.
East Stirlingshire.
Yes, sorry, that's 5-all. Andrew?
Keith.
Correct, yep. 6-5.
Just
Eric
naming
Rangers.
towns up there now.
Correct. 6 apiece.
Lossiemouth.
Correct. 7-6.
Albion Rovers.
7-all. Well done.
Turriff United.
Well done. Yep.
Cowdenbeath.
Correct. 8 apiece.
Trying to think of any other towns up that way I've not mentioned. Strathspey Thistle.
Strathspey, a very rogue choice. Well done.
Celtic B.
9-8. Correct. 9 apiece.
Ah, you've got the fucking shitey B teams as well. Clachnacudin.
Yep. Well done. 10-9.
Hearts B.
Correct.
Fucking really struggling now.
10 apiece.
I've said that already. Pretty sure they don't have a team. Rothus?
Correct. Yep. 11-10.
Are Rangers B in the league?
Oh, it's wrong.
No.
Gosh.
It's 11-10 to make it 12-10 and put daylight between the two teams here.
Fuck. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to remember which ones I've done. I usually write it down.
If you name it twice, I'll let you go again. That's not gonna detract.
Staying very north again. Nairn County.
Correct. Yep. 12-10.
He's just naming towns.
Oh, I've got. I'm literally just naming towns up there.
He gave the suffix. He said county.
Dunbar.
That is incorrect, sir.
Dunbar. I'm thinking.
Chance to go 13-10.
And I'm giving me the juniors, man.
Fraserburgh.
Just naming places.
I'm pretty sure I've not said them.
Fraserburgh is correct.
Yes.
Um,
I'm fucked now. I can't think of any.
Broomhill.
Broomhill. Incorrect.
Broomhill. Who's the team that Simon Ferry was at? Broomhill.
They not get called East Kilbride, no?
No, he was at the other team before. He called them Open Goal Broomhill, did he not? Did they get relegated?
I don't know. Maybe they're not in that league.
Broomhill.
They were dissolved in 2025.
What? I thought dissolved like Syngenta RIP.
I'm struggling. I can't really think anymore.
3, 4, I think you've not named, Andrew. 4, and you've not got one wrong yet, so must be 15-10. No, 14-10.
Local.
Yep, 15-10. I think that could be game over.
Linlithgow Rose.
Correct, well done.
Best place,
15-11.
best town in Scotland, apparently. Linlithgow.
Andrew for the clean sweep. 3 more to get.
Come on, Andrew. Come on, son.
I can't think of it anymore. I'm not convinced by this at all, but I'll say it anyway just because I'm running out of places. Dice.
Nope.
I don't remember them really having a team in that league.
I'm going to say this. This is a Highland League team? I don't know. Gallifreydine. Is that Highland or Lowland?
They're Lowland, mate. As low as you get. They're Scottish borders.
I get confused.
Yeah.
Like, I got confused between Three Rovers. I always thought Three Rovers were like the fucking Highlands League, but they're bloody Lowland as well.
It's correct, though. It's 15-12, though.
Come on, Gallifreydine.
To Andrew. I think there's 2 more to get.
I'm really struggling now. No, I can't even guess. I can't.
Tapping out on 15.
Yeah, I think so. I can't think
It's
anymore.
a sterling effort, and I think you can't be beaten anyway, even if Matthew gets his last 2 to make it 15-14.
I'll go. Fife
Gonna go
United.
Fife United. I think he's tapped out as well.
What a team!
Team won the Fife.
The 2 that you were missing,
Raith and he's Fife and everyone.
North, Andrew, the current Highland League top of the league team is Brora Rangers.
Oh, I can't believe I didn't remember that one.
And I don't think you mentioned Lossiemouth.
Oh, I did. I'm pretty confident.
Nah, I didn't.
I'm pretty confident I did because it was one of the towns up in the Murray Firth.
Maybe you did. Maybe there's another one you missed then. Huntley, I think you missed.
Oh, I didn't say Huntley. Damn it!
There's definitely a couple that
missed
out.
I knew that was there, but I didn't say that.
And did you say for Martin? I don't think you said for Martin.
No, I didn't say them. No, didn't say them.
That was your 3. Struggy, you missed out.
Actually, I don't think I said them. Are they in the Highland League?
Devon Vale as well. Yep. So I mean the scores anyway. You've won, but I've maybe messed up.
Fort William, are they still hanging about bottom of the league, like 3 points? Fort William.
I don't know.
Fort William aren't
there
in the league
anymore.
Man, they were always like bottom of the league. Every single time I'd look in the papers, with Fort William would have like 4 points, getting battered like 10-0 every week, and that barely any games were on because the pitch was always waterlogged.
Struggy's missed out on Bo'ness United, Caledonian Braves,
Right.
Civil Service Strollers, Cumbernauld Colts. I think you failed to mention.
Yeah,
Could be wrong. East Stirlingshire, you said. Edinburgh University was missed, as
really?
was University of Stirling.
Stirling University.
Yeah.
Bloody bonus.
Fife
But
United.
it's another win in the Andrew column, so well done to you, sir. Good quizzing.
Thank you very much. It was a bit of a rabbit in headlights at the start of that, but then I just started naming towns up north, and it was fine.
I'm sure the local residents of Dice will be glad to know that you think of them so highly. Highland League.
Yeah, that's it.
Football
Yeah.
quality.
Right,
That's it. Lads, it's another one in the bank. Any parting words for our listeners and watchers?
Like, share, subscribe. Tell us your predictions for who's going up and down in each league. And do you agree with Tam that it's going to be 2 up, 2 down in every single one?
Cool. Yep, that's all. I echo that.
Lovely.
Struggle
Thanks, lads.
Ditto. Cheers.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.